Hi everyone, this is Billy RL, real life, and I'm inside the Resistance Studio, and we're all in the auditorium. I'm watching. This is a day off for us, and we're just relaxing and just taking it easy because the days before we did a lot of hard work. We traveled, did this and did that, did some and did more. But we were sitting in the auditorium of the Resistance Team Studio, and we're watching this video. Every one of us. And the title is Section 8 Woman Freaks Out After Losing Her EBT Benefits and Housing. Well, we saw segment after segment after segment. And some women on here, blacks and whites, they are really freaking out. One woman, she had 5 kids, and she looks no more than maybe 21, 22 herself, and she's complaining about how they have cut off her benefits and she doesn't know what she's going to do. And her oldest child, which is 17 or 18, in the teen years anyway, and her oldest child is thinking about going out finding a job, and she's telling her oldest child, no, I do not want you to go out finding a job, because if you do, that will mean definitely we will not get our food stamps when it's reinstated. There's another mother, and this was a white woman. There was another woman who was a black woman, and she had 5 kids. And she went to the grocery store, I guess with her cash, this sort of thing, and she bought carrots and apples, and I mean, she just had 2 bags of food, and she got her food from Whole Food groceries. And then after she got everything out of all of the items out of the bag and placed them on the counter, she says, now, this is what I get when I don't receive my food stamps. And I'm saying to each and every one of you out there, I have so many thousands and thousands of subscribers. And if you all don't come and give me money, I will cut you off from being my subscriber. And it went on and on and on about the different ones. The white ones, the same way. One white woman, she said that she she's she was getting food stamps, and but she was happy now that she's getting a check for her children from her daddy, because that will help sustain her until the time that she's back on food stamps. Well, we, the team members, we sat around and in the studio, in the auditorium, and we are watching this. You know, it makes no sense how these women go out and have baby after baby after baby after baby. Now, the highest one that we have seen so far in watching was this woman who had 8 kids. And she stated that she received at that moment, but she no longer receives it now because they have stopped the food stamps. But she stated that she have 8 kids and she received $3,000 a month. That's ridiculous. And if the government had not stopped it then, I wonder, would she have had her ninth child or 10th child? And this woman looks to be a young woman. And another woman on this video that we saw in the auditorium, we, the team, saw a woman. She stated this was a white woman, and a black woman said the same thing. We're going to keep on having children. We're going to keep on having children because one day the the food stamps is going to come back, and we need our food stamps. And just as this black woman has said earlier, we just talked about this other woman, she stated the same thing. We want our subscribers to send in money to us so that we can be able to buy food for our children. Now, you know, all of us in the studio, in the auditorium of the Resistance Studio. And we're watching this. Black, white, but you know who was involved in saying this was the China woman. Yeah, we had a few Spanish women saying the same thing, but it wasn't the China woman. It wasn't any other race except for the blacks and the whites and the Spanish that had all of these children and that are receiving Section 8, receiving food stamps. Then they show how one woman had a Section 8 apartment, only paying $5 a month, only $5 a month. And she was mad about that. She had been there for years, but she was mad about that because they finally caught with her and asking her to leave. And she said, if I had a kept my mouth shut and not got in front of the microphone to let you all know that I pay only $5 a month for my rent, maybe they would not have bothered me. But it's one thing my father used to say to us, me and my sister. My sisters are gone now, but said to, sometimes your mouth can get you in a world of trouble. And that's what got her into trouble because she said, if I had not said anything, I would not have gotten into trouble. They would not be coming, asking me or telling me that they want to evict me. One woman only paid $50 a month, Section 8. And when they went to, give her an eviction notice, so she hadn't paid her rent and paid her rent for months. They saw where the doors had been holes in the doors, and I mean, they left the apartment unit in a wreck, in a total wreck. And the landlord, he went over, he said, you see, this is what they do. And they only pay $50 a month. It makes you wonder sometimes. And then one have to state and say, honestly, that's why we are so glad they have done away with Section 8. We are so glad that they have done away with the food stamp program because you women are taking advantage of it. You have took advantage of it. You have child after child. And one mother stated to her daughter, I don't want you to work. I want you to go out there and get pregnant and add onto the food stamps. This is what a mother stated to her daughter. And the mother looked to be a young girl herself. So she must have had her children because now today, females are coming on their menses, and I'll put it to you like that, at 10 and 11 years of age. And when they first notice their menses, they go out there with the parents, the mother, not knowing anything. Or sometimes the mother knows to have children, and that child who has gotten pregnant at the age of 10 and 11 and on, well, you can stay here, Miles, because you ain't going nowhere, girl. Because what we can do, we can add you onto the food stamps and the SNAP program and the Section 8 or however, whatever it is called, and you can stay right here until they're found out. And so we looking at this video, and even the teen numbers, this don't make no sense. Even the male, this doesn't make any sense. Why you got ratchet ass females to go out there and get pregnant one after another, after another, after another, and thinking that we, the people who are working, we, the people who are bringing in support to try to support ourselves, to take care of them. It makes no sense. And this is why, and I don't care what you say, this is why we, the resistance thing, we're so happy that Trump stepped in because it was getting out of hand. He advised the other government departments to stop it. And we are so happy he told the mayors and the governors and the whoever, stop it. And we're so happy that it has been stopped because you can't give a Black person something and think that they're going to hold it for a little while to try to better themselves. And then that little while goes into 2, 3, 4, and 5 years and longer. And then when they're asked to leave the premises, what do? They smash the premises up, holes in the walls, trash on the floor. It wasn't like that when they first moved inside, but they feel that they are being given an injustice of asked to be moved. And so okay, we'll move. But before they move, they leave that unit as if it's a trash bin. It makes no sense. And so this is why there's no Section 8. This is why there's no food stamps or whatever name that Each state calls it. This is why, because you black mothers out there, you have taken advantage of it. And then you have found some black mothers that we've seen watching this video where they think that it's the people's fault and not their own. Well, how long are they supposed to have this? 10, 15, 20, until the day that they die? Until the day that they die. The only person that's supposed to have things like that is the senior citizens and the disabled. And then they should be tested whether they should be able to go into those places. Because you got some senior citizens and some disabled people who are drug addicts, who are drunks, and who will slide their own ratchet sons and daughters inside of the place or the places that they alone are supposed to live in. It makes no sense. And I mean, the team members that, oh my God, they were they sitting here in the auditorium and they thought that it was wrong. Not only the blacks, but the whites, the Spanish, the Italian, all the races that we have that consist of the resistance team. Well, I was angry about it because it makes no sense. It makes the black race of people look terrible. Now, and I'm going to say this, I've said this many times before, and I will say this again. When I was growing up, after my mother, my father, my sisters, and had died, I had no one. And there was a Section 8 at that time. There was a TANA program or whatever you called it. And they had the different programs for the different ones. They had the food stamps. But I chose not to get on any of that because I wasn't raised and taught that way. And my mother and sisters died because of health. Because, well, I'm not going into that, but it wasn't because of them being on drugs. No, it wasn't because of them being a drunk. No, my daddy died. My father died. Wasn't because that he did something wrong, but yet and still, I could have made the excuse. Well, I'm going to have me a child and get on welfare or TANF or whatever you did, food stamps and Section 8. I could have did that, but I refused to not do that. I refused to survive myself and survive alone. That's when I went out and I got so many different boxes. And to look at those boxes that I had, you would have thought that I was living in an apartment. I made the windows, I made the doorway. I did it myself because I refused to go to some Section 8 housing. I refused to be governed and guided by some government worker telling me what, how, and when to do. I did it on my own. And yes, I went to different restaurants. I'll work as a dishwasher if you can give me something to eat. And they did. And it wasn't, well, you can do this, but you have to give me something. No, no, it was none of that. But yet and still, I made it, finished. I went to school. I went to school, and the females and the male teachers there, they saw my condition and they worked with me to be able to finish school. I did it. I didn't lay down and have a baby. And many times when I had the males coming to me, and I would go to the left. When they was coming straight out, I would go to the left or I would go to the right because I was determined no one is going to have my body until I got married. That's the way that I was. And that's the way I am today. And I'm only 38 years of age. Well, I'll be 39 in July, but I'm 38 years of age today. But I refuse to let any of that Section 8, food stamps, the TANA program. No, I wasn't about that because see, once you get dependent upon that kind of those avenues, it's going to be hard to get away from it or walk out of it. Yes, I was fed. I was fed thanks to, and then when I went to college, thanks to my professors, they helped me out. And Billy, we're going to keep the style sales down. We're going to help you, and they did. None of my teachers overtook me because they had respect for me because of how I stood up for myself, how I was stood for myself and being independent. I'll put it to you like that. No, it was hard. Yes, I had to do a lot of fighting, but I refused to lay down. Just lay down and just give up. But you women out here today, whether you're black, white, or whatever, You are angry because it's not open up to you and given to you freely. You're taking the taxpayers' money, my money. You're taking that and you're getting mad because they have stopped it. They have found you out and they have stopped it. They have all of these children. One is not bad, but two is not bad, but three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and then beyond. And to have 8 or 9 children and you're getting $3,000 a month, that's totally ridiculous. And we, the team, we felt like this. That person has been on the program for years. And if the government had not intervened and stepped in, I wonder how many more children she would have had. Eventually, it would have been $2,000 more. Eventually, it would have been $2,000 more. Enough is enough. It does not make sense. And then they get mad at us when we found out what their situation is and we disapprove of it. And the woman on this video who said, looked out at the camera and said, I have thousands of subscribers. If you all don't send me money and help me, I will unsubscribe you. Well, then if I were her subscribers, I would say that unsubscribe me because it makes no sense. A lot of these young females can get out there and find employment. It may not be the type of employment they want to have, but they can do it. And then they need to stop having these children. And the government needs to have every female, if she has more of, I would say, we would say, over 2 children, they need to step in and cause them not to have any children more, especially if they're not married. And one woman we saw in the video, she said, I got 5 different baby daddies. It makes no sense. 5 different baby daddies. And I guarantee you, we guarantee you, the resistance team guarantee you that not one of those baby daddies pays any child support. I mean, we all were taken back. All were taken back. Nobody has had it hard. Well, there has been some people who have had it hard, or worse than Billy RL has had it when she was coming up, but I have had it hard. Well, I didn't get on TANF, food stamps, Section 8. I mean, there were, God, I had to go through the wind, the storm, but I was determined. No child is coming from this body. Anytime a man would come up to me and try to talk that shit, I would walk away. Hey, why are you walking away? I don't have time for this. Because I knew what his or they or them, whoever their intentions were. I knew. And I knew that I had one goal for myself, and that was survival, to make it into the end. And now I can sit back and I can help those. And when we, the resistance team, when we say we can help those, we help those who really cannot help themselves. We don't go out there and help a mother that has 8 or 9 kids. No, because that mother should have realizes when she had the first one, when she had the second one. We help those who really, really, really cannot help themselves. And that's the majority of the disabled, the senior citizens, women who have been raped and have gotten pregnant and they don't want to have abortions or this sort of thing because they were pregnant, to give that life a chance. And people like them. But women who have had 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 kids, no, you're on your own. And so we understand why the government does not help them as well. This video that we saw, it made no sense whatsoever. The people, the females that were in that video, the white ones and the black ones and the Spanish ones. Yes, the Spanish people does the same too. They have a Section 8, and when they open the door, you find 5 or 6 little amigos coming out. It makes no sense. But then you blame the government when the government is trying to stop this mess. You females out there, you need to close your legs and zip up your stuff because Personally, I'm getting tired. And so many of the resistance team members, we're getting tired of having our taxes taken out to cover you all out there. We're getting tired of it. And you all don't give a damn as long as there's a Section 8, as long as there are food stamps coming in. You don't care. So I just wanted to bring that forward to you all because it makes no sense. It makes no, and there's no way, no reason, no how that a female can say, well, I tried to avoid it because, but they just, they kept coming. Yeah, you could have avoided it. You didn't go down no dirtier than what I went through. I went through hell and mud, and I mean, I was determined I was going to survive. And sure, I had family. I had the white family side, but I was not going to them. No, I wasn't going to go to them. I had to survive and do this thing on my own, and I did it. And right here today, I'm just as pure and innocent as the day that my mother gave birth to me, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. And you all should be the same way as well. But you mothers that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if you could have 15, you would have 15. You're no longer living in the South now, where females there, they had no control. They had to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 kids. There's no excuse. We're living in a society today where a woman, can prevent things from happening. And you meet the man, and the man is talking this shit to you, and you get all heated on the inside, and you feel like you have to be with him, and there's no protection, and you have baby number one. But yet and still, that man, he finds out that you had his baby, he's gone and left. Then you're going to meet another man, and you feel heated inside, and then you lay down with him, and you have baby number two. And then it goes on, the cycle goes on and on and on. Then you go to get Section 8, and you're paying $5, $10, $100 a month, $200 a month, and you can't even take care of the place that you're living in. Mm. I say to you out there, it's a shame. And everyone here in this studio, all team members, they think and they thought it was disgusting. And it's not only the black race, it's you white race people, and it's you Spanish, Latinos, whatever you call yourselves. It's all of you as well. And you get angry when we begin to sit back and see how stupid you were. You get mad with us. Government, continue on. And the way they left those places, they're supposedly homes, Section 8, how they left them filthy. It made no sense. You didn't come there with the place looking like that. That means that that owner has to clean up that place and repaint it and refix it back like it was. You all don't care because you all have gone to the next place to do the same thing. Well, that's why Donald Trump has stopped this stuff. You get your ass out there and you get a job. I don't, when I don't have the education, I don't have the skills. When you should have got the education. Because I'm telling you, there's no excuse. I lived in the alley. In the alley, I was not able to wash my body properly, but I finished my education. There's no excuse. You lie, you make up excuses so people can feel sorry for you. When men would approach me, I would stand up and I would fight, and I walked away the same way that I came into. I didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't have a lover because my education and my dignity and my survival meant more to me than anything out there. And I did it. So all the excuses that you give, well, I didn't have a mother. I didn't have a mother either. My mother died when I was in high school. A year before I graduated high school. My father had died way before then. My sisters was kept by my mother's aunt. I mean, my mother's sister. And she died. Well, they died first and then eventually they died. But you see, I'm still here. I'm 38 and I'm not going anywhere unless I choose to go myself. So there's no excuse as to why you couldn't do or why you didn't do. You females, you make every excuse there is under the sun for why you're acting, why you have, why you produce, why you have not did this, why you have not did that. You make excuses for yourselves. And you men up there, you fall for the dirt. You fall for the dirt instead of falling for the innocence. So we saw this video and we thought it was appalling. And I had to say something about this because it makes no sense. And we are so happy that Section 8 has been taken out, TANA has been stopped, the food stamps has been stopped. We are so happy because you ignorant females out there have taken advantage of it. We feel sorry for the kids because you are making and have made the kids, the innocent kids, suffer. You have made them suffer. But then what you have done and what you are doing is having them to grow up to be in the same boat that you are in, especially the females. And the males are going to be the young little kids. Male kids are going to be the same boat that your ratchet ass boyfriend or the man that who helped you give birth or planted that seed within you, you're having them to go up the same way. Enough is enough. And this is why we, the resistance team, when people say, I need help, I need help. I mean, my children need this and children need that. When we look and find out how many children you have, we turn our back. And not that we want to, but it's a thing to let you all know. You shouldn't have had those many kids. So that's what I want to talk to you all about. And so maybe it would change and maybe it won't. But it all depends upon the government in every state and city to stop the madness. Have the women to be sealed up where they cannot have any more children. And it's sad to say that, but it's true. There are so many innocent little boys and girls who are in this world, and the parents cannot take care of them unless it's through and by the government. And then they grow up to be the same way. This is me, Billy R.L., real life. Knowledge is obtained where power is gained. Use it and don't abuse it. And some of you mothers out there, you have no knowledge, you have no power whatsoever. Billy R.L. and the entire resistance team. Peace, love, power. Power, love, peace. Until the next time.